Greetings, ladies and managers, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space, where I take stories from across the internet and read them for your entertainment. Some of the keen-eyed viewers might notice that I've got stuff in my ears. That is a feedback microphone so that I can monitor my volume a bit better. I was trying to talk to a screen or the camera, which is quite far away, rather than talking to the microphone, which is right here. So hopefully this will reduce the stress of my voice, because I'll be talking at the appropriate volume, according to these. I've got some fancy ones heading my way, but they'll take 2 weeks. So until then, we've got these cheapo little microphone headphone things. But it shouldn't make too much of a difference. I've tried to make it so that they're not as visible. But anyways, on to the story. This story is called Terran Communications Techniques, written by Hansen III. It has come to our attention that many of our employees have difficulty efficiently communicating with the newest members in our ranks, the Terrans. Many have reported not being able to accurately identify the intentions of Terrans that they are interacting with, as Terrans tend to express themselves in one of their many native languages, especially when they are stressed, /joyous, /intoxicated, /scared, /angry, /sad, or have the feeling of wanting to do something purely to displease someone else, untranslatable. Full mutual understanding is important to us, and we are sure to you too, especially when out on deployment with them to one of our customers' war zones. We are happy to provide you with the short guide for when you have the pleasure of interacting with a member of this highly expressive species. To note, budgetary restrictions, mainly due to the ongoing siege of HFY 7, force our appendages to only be able to provide you a short guide for Section 2, for when the Terrans you are speaking to speak a specific Terran dialect called English. Even English is a broad oversimplification, as his dialect is split into several sub-dialects and sub-sub-dialects. We hope that you will find the information herein contained useful nonetheless. Section 1. Nonverbal Communications. Terrans possess a wide array of nonverbal communications methods, some of which seem psionic in nature to our employees when they had the opportunity to talk to Terrans for the first time. Lieutenant Zara from our Psionic Warfare Division was tasked with testing these supposed abilities of the Terrans. His successor, Sergeant Kerry Summers, appointed after the Rick Ashley incident, for which the Lieutenant Zaref had to be put on leave for psychiatric recovery, was quickly able to confirm no active psionic abilities, just slight passive ones in some Terrans, allowing them to know whether they were being watched, and apparently a newly discovered natural skill in countering psionic attacks. Sergeant Summers believes that's what some of our employees noticed in Terran communications were facial expressions, but what does that even mean? You may have noticed that the faces of Terrans morph into different shapes, such as the edge of their mouths moving upwards or downwards, or the skin flaps around their eyes opening wide whenever they are talking to you. These movements are called facial expressions, and the Terrans are masters at recognizing and interpreting them, as they have evolved with them on their Deathworld. It is no surprise that when other species are not even able to recognize them, and should therefore not be a big concern to you, except for one rare expression. Should a Terran experience great sadness, or paradoxically great joy, a clear, colorless liquid may leak from their eyes, and they may vocalize a painful-sounding grunt. This is normal, and medical staff should not be alerted, as many employees have thought that the liquid is Terran blood. Terrans using this expression are usually not physically hurt. Please only call for a medic if you know that a Terran has been physically injured or see a liquid with the standard galactic red color on their face. For a reference picture of clear liquid and their blood, see Addendum 1. Another way Terrans frequently convey messages is with their appendages, specifically the 5 small ones at the end, which we will from now refer to as fingers. At the bottom of this document is a picture of the right appendage from the perspective of a Terran. The 5 fingers are numbered 1 to 5 in this picture. If all fingers are raised and the whole appendage moves from side to side, be assured that this is not a sign of aggression, but simply a form of greeting, and neither of them are reaching for their appendages towards you. This is also a greeting. A common gesture Terrans will make, especially while in battle, is raising only finger number 2 and retracting all the others. The end of the finger will point in the direction that the Terran wishes to draw your attention to or needs, and verbal communication may be used in conjunction. Whenever a Terran thinks that you have not noticed what they are pointing at quickly enough, attempt to find whatever the Terran is pointing to as quickly as possible to avoid frustrating them. Raising finger number 1 and pointing it up, the rest of the fingers closed means affirmative or alright. This gesture should not be confused with the gesture of raising finger number 3 and closing all the others. A Terran makes this gesture when they are displeased with someone. Should they point the finger towards you, attempt to ask what you've done wrong and apologize to them for it, regardless if you believe that you are right. Should they then rapidly close the distance to you while yelling at you and closing all fingers as well as lifting both appendages in front of them after your attempted apology, refrain from interacting with the Terran any further until you contact your superior. Past experience shows that you may be in danger of imminent high-impact blunt force. Think of the situations in which you may have insulted or offended the Terran that may have induced this reaction from them and reported to your superior. Past examples include stealing theirs or one of their friends' food, insulting one of their friends, referring to them as ugly primates, or calling them Martian, eating one of their pets, a live animal kept for company, not for consumption, attacking someone the Terran considers their friend, especially another Terran, as they may lead to multiple Terrans attacking you, attempting to touch the fur on top of their heads. To end this section in a slightly less worrying note, the raising of fingers 1, 2, and 5 while quickly shaking the appendage is a gesture of excitement, often seen made by them inside a dropship or in an atmosphere VTOL aircraft. Section number 2. Verbal communication, authors note, this section contains mostly a list of swear words and a few benign ones. May not be appropriate to read in front of other Terrans. This section will cover the most common phrases used by your Terran colleagues and are mostly unprofessional phrases that we do not approve the use of. However, upper management believes that explaining these phrases and words to you, the reader, is necessary for effective communications with Terrans in stressful situations, because they tend to slip into their native language and usage of these words in precisely these situations. Audio examples were enthusiastically provided by Private First Class Emma Kane, who also helped with the translation of the words. The audio can be accessed by simply clicking on the word. Terrans are very creative in the way they express themselves, and so many of the following words have multiple meanings. Listed will be the most common use cases, followed by an example of how it could be used by a Terran. Sucks. Something bad. Man, the synthetic coffee sucks. Arsehole. Disliked person, general insult. Lieutenant Seraph is a real arsehole. Won't leave me alone with his psionic bullshit. But don't worry, I'll give him something to mind read. Big ass. Very large. That's one big-ass coil gun you have there. Can I shoot it? Shit. Very bad, referring to an object, general, exclamation. Nah, I won't break it. See, it's shit. Piece of shit. Usually a malfunctioning object, hated person. God, why won't this piece of shit turn on? Bullshit. Calling out a lie, exclamation of disbelief, not a matter of concern. Bullshit. You didn't actually say that to her. Horseshit. Intensification of bullshit. Horseshit. You're trying to tell me that you shot that many. Fuck. Same meaning as galactic standard word, fuck. No! Fuck you, John! What the fuck? Disapproval with someone's actions, disbelief. What the fuck are you doing? Push forward! Motherfucker. Insult implying inbreeding. Come get some motherfuckers. Mate, addressing someone, often used filler word in the Australian sub-dialect. Mate, I'll handle it, don't worry about it. Yeah, nah, means no. Yeah, nah, he didn't want me handling military-grade explosives. He's a bit of a cranky after the last time. Cranky, displeased, in a bad mood. See above. Yeah, no, yeah, means yes. Yeah, no, yeah, he gave me the nades after all. What a cool bloke. Bloke, person, see above. Sweet baby Jesus, surprised. Sweet baby Jesus, means surprised. Sweet baby Jesus, we're really lighting up those obeisans up. Poor motherfuckers. Jesus Christ. Expressing shock, fearful, exclamation. Run, if the Terran that said that is already running. What was that? Jesus Christ. Closing off, we encourage you to go and seek out your Terran colleagues. Should you have any questions, some part of this guide may have caused you to fear accidentally insulting them. However, do not be afraid. Most Terrans are very lenient and understanding of blunders resulting from cultural differences. There is much to gain when talking to a Terran. Not only will you learn more about their unique way to communicate, but maybe you'll find a new friend in one of them. Copyright Perutu Security Services. End of story. I would like to thank Inglet, our super awesome Tier 6 patron, who's supporting the channel. Thank you very much. I'd quickly like to thank the T5 channel members and patrons. Caspar Arnholtz, Cam Maxwell, Lord Azrakal, Dragzoon WRE, Holly Sister, Ambrose Cattell, and Quantum Wednesday. Thank you very much.